This is BBC News. We're going to get an update now on the police response to the riots here in the UK that have been taking place over the last few days. We've heard just in the last few minutes from the head of the Metropolitan Police. Let's take a listen.
Protecting communities is at the core of policing. That's why, as police chiefs, we've been meeting regularly over the last few days, and we've decided to marshal thousands of police officers across the country. We've changed our tactics in the last couple of days. So besides marshalling more officers, we're brigading some of them at key strategic locations across the country to give us more agility to respond to wherever the protests are most intense, so that we can respond with agility and show overwhelming force so that the criminals and thugs on the streets don't succeed.
We're hearing about specifically immigration centres or immigration lawyers being targeted. How concerned are you for people in that space tonight?
So we've seen that list circulated. Obviously, that's at the centre of our planning. For tonight. Also keeping an open mind on other possibilities and other intelligence that's coming into our system. That's why we have thousands of officers on tonight. We will protect those people. It is completely unacceptable, regardless of your political views, to intimidate any sector of lawful activity, and we will not let the immigration asylum system be intimidated. They're operating lawfully. The thugs and criminals who are targeting them are not, and we'll stop that.
Do you believe, as some commentators, former police officers have suggested so far, that what we've seen across the country could be slipping into terrorism? Is that how seriously you think we should be treating this?
So we'll throw the full force of the law at offenders, whether that's charging people with assaults, violent disorder, riot, and if terrorism offences are appropriate, I know the Director of Public Prosecutions has said he's prepared to consider that. We will throw the full force of the law at people. And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behaviour from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we'll come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the obs who are causing the problems for communities.
And on that note, a lot of this commentary discusses two-tier policing. Where do you stand on that, and what would you like to say to the people who say that you are treating different groups differently when it comes to your policing response?
It's complete nonsense. We have commentators from either end of the political spectrum who like to throw accusations of bias at the police, because we stand in the middle. We operate independently under the law without fear or favour. And if you've got crazy views over there, you don't like it. And if you've got crazy views from over there, you don't like it. We will continue to do that. The serious voices who echo those are of more concern to me, because the risk is they legitimise it, and they legitimise the violence that the officers I'm sending on mutual aid today will face on the streets. They are putting them at risk by suggesting that any of those officers are going out with any intent other than to operate without fear or favour in protecting communities.
There are individuals